All right, this is the D2L video for machining 1391, your capstone. You get into Brightspace, which is D2L. You know how to log into it. If you don't, you're probably got no business being in this course. Come on. This isn't working. There it goes. Oh my gosh, this is running slow. Don't do that. Oh my goodness. Now you know why I don't do cooking shows. Oh my goodness. Good God Almighty. All right, here we go. Yours is going to look different than mine. I've got tons of stuff I'm responsible for. Okay, this was 1391 for the fall. Here's 1391 for the spring. You find this course. Y002 is inactive. We don't need it. You click on the active one, which is Y001, and it should open up. You've seen this in the syllabus. I know why this isn't working. Oh well. You've seen this in the syllabus video. All right, here's the important dates. Important dates. Okay. All right. Course calendar. Instructions on operating out of the star bundle. There's no book required for this course, but you got charged for a book anyway. That's way Lone Star just squeezes money out of y'all. All right. Okay, that's it. Make sure there's nothing else. All right, the important thing is content. Yes, this file when I'm making this video shows that this is the fall 2025 video list. When I get this done and the current links to YouTube, then this will be replaced with the spring file. But that's where you'll find it. The syllabus. There's the syllabus. You've already seen the syllabus with the syllabus video. Reference materials. Here's all the reference materials. Master formula sheet, Starrett tool rules, Haas lathe programming manual, Haas mill programming manual, Haas live tool op program, DS manual, etc., etc., etc. I put all this up there for you in PDF. If you don't have this or didn't keep from your other courses, I suggest you download them onto a thumb drive and go from there. What else do we have? Collaboration, class list. This is what I was talking about signing up. Okay. So I can tell when you've signed in or not. All right. So let's get out of the collaboration. Go back to content. Now let's do grades. And the grades are here. This is the grade. So midpoint, the final. Content. Come back to content. Project. This is the big one. Okay. I suggest you download this PDF. In fact, I think I'm just going to open it and we'll work off of PDF instead of this. And we'll go ahead and open it out of here and see how well it's working. All right. This is the independent study. The attached set of drawings is the assigned project. This is a real-world project which was designed and built by me for my gunsmithing. There is a weldment as part of this project. You are to ignore the weldment as it is not machining, it's welding. Okay? You know what? I think we will go over and open this thing up. Let's open this up. Let's open this up. Let's open this up. We'll open it. There we go. Let's move this over here. Let's move this over here. That way I can use this marker as a highlighter. All right. This is the project. Okay. Independent study. Attached are the drawings. There's a weldment. You can see that in the drawing in a minute. You're to generate the following for the project. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 items. Okay, there are 8 items. The midpoint's 50, the final's another 50. Therefore, 50 out of 8 means there's 6.25 points each for each one of these items. Okay, you are to satisfy all of this. All coordinate geometry for the parts. Some of the coordinate geometry is on the drawing, some of it you're going to have to generate. I want all this so I can read it. That's part of your submittal. Again, if you get this done in 8 weeks or 3 weeks, then you're done with the course. Each part will have an order of operations. You know what that is by now. If not, you should. You will list all your cutting tools that are needed, including the size, the diameter, size and diameter. Each tool will have a tool number tied to your programming. You will list all cutting speeds, feed rates, etc. for each tool delineated to the operation of the parts. The cutting speeds and feed rates will have calculations for each one, proving that it is the correct speed and feed based on your input. You all know how to do that. The drilling and tapping of each hole will have calculations for the percent of threads with corresponding drill diameter, etc. Here's a website that'll help you with the percent threads and the drill diameter. And so if you're using a website, you're going to reference it. And you can do a screenshot of your calculations on the calculator on their website. But there will be calculations for your speeds and feeds. Just don't pull this stuff out of the atmosphere. Prove to me how you calculated it. For the heat sink, all coordinate geometry and threading calculations for single point threading. For all the operations delineated above, you will generate a typed set of G-codes for programming the project on a Haas machine. These codes will be tied back to each operation, including but not limited to speeds, feeds, and tool changes. And anything else you feel I need to know to prove you know your machining business. You do not have to wait for the official due date. Again, if you finish early, you will be done with the project and the course. Matters not if you finish both the midpoint and the final at 8 weeks. If you finish the deal, just submit it as a final project. And yes, you can use CAD/CAM software. In fact, if you still have access to a spree, then I'd use that. Or any other CAD/CAM software. I don't care. Remember, this is a 100% online independent study course. So there will not be much hand holding. Actually, there won't be any hand holding. You have finished all the machining courses, so you should be able to do this. I reserve the right to add to this list if needed. If you any questions, you email me. You email me at my Lone Star email address from your Lone Star email address, and we will solve the problem that you're having. How's that? All right. So let's look at the project. This was for a short action, so I didn't need all four of those. All right, you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. This is the heat sink. This is for welding a bolt handle to change the angle of the bolt handle on a rifle bolt. This is the weldment that I was talking about. That's welding, that's not machining. All right. That's the heat sink. It quickly aligns. You can read all of this. I'm not going to read this to you. Okay. That's just a tool to pull the disassembled Remington bolt, firing pin out of the bolt. All right. This was a 700 short action bolt. This is to protect the threads on the heat sink when I'm not using it in my toolbox. All right, a design change added a radius in the corners of the clamps and changed the machining sequence. The part was machined as a single unit and then split into to finish it. The same pocket milling program was used for the second version, and this really doesn't mean much to you, but those are my notes. Okay. That's the weldment drawing. Again, ignore this weldment for the project as it's a weldment. It's not machining. But in case you want it, you got it. All right. Here's the drawings. Everything's in here. Notes. There's the heat sink. It started out as a block of aluminum, milled it out, split it, and drilled it, tapped it, split it. So you'll have a slitting saw operation. There's another view of it. And again, I produced 4 of these for a longer bolt if needed. You really only need 1 for the bolt handle, but in a long bolt you need 2. Even for a short action, you really should use 2. That's the heat sink. You don't have to worry about this. That's just a coupling I drilled and rethreaded to protect the threads on the heat sink when I'm not using it. How the heat sink works, you put it in the freezer, get it super cold, screw it in there, and then do the welding. And that's it. So what you will do is, you got these drawings, you know what you're going to produce. I want a set of machining calculations, order of operation, tools, speeds, feeds, and the tools you're going to use and the calculations to get there. And then you will do your G-coding, your programming to tell a Haas machine how to make this stuff. Of course, this would be done on a lathe, and this would be done on a mill. All right, if you got any questions, you can email me. And and we'll go from there. How long is this video? It's only 14 minutes. So again, the bottom line is, got any questions, you email me. And this is, like I said, independent studies. So the sooner you get on it, the sooner you get it done, the sooner I can check it. If I have any comments, you'll go back and correct some stuff. And as soon as everything's done, I don't care if it's 3 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, or you take the full 16 weeks. My advice is not to wait. Get on it. You should have this done by 8 weeks at least. This is too simple of a project. Just too simple. This just lets us know that you can do your G coding and your coordinate geometry and make this stuff work. So that's all I've got for you. Good luck. You should be able to handle this, and if not, we'll go from there.